Hey guys, chapter 620 is out, and before I get into this chapter, you guys have been killing it in the fucking likes and comments and all of the above. Thank you very much for your support, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into this chapter. So, first off, this chapter is very short. I think this is the shortest chapter we've received in a very long time. I remember a long time ago we got like a really short chapter, but like it just never got brought up again because the chapters that's how you release afterwards are like normal or very long. But yeah, I mean, this is a really short chapter. It really is just one scene, one concise scene. And I mean, it's very impactful, but I mean, just short. So Enkidu and Ameuz are already flying away on the bird. I already forgot the thing's name, but they're trying to escape from last chapter away from Traumerei, like in the middle of the sky, as if Traumerei wouldn't spot that. I don't know what Ameuz was thinking that she could get away this easily. Of course, Traumerei is gonna appear right in front of her, but I mean, before I get into that, this island that they fly on, it reminds me of this dungeon from The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. I'll just play a clip, just very iconic clip from my childhood. It just reminded me of that for some reason. It looks so gloomy, dark, and the little red lanterns made it seem like, demonic. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. But of course, Traumerei is right there. Why wouldn't he be there? It's his house. It's where he belongs. So of course, Traumerei is gonna be there. He teleports from his palace to that little island. So I don't know if that's that spatial distortion technique they use or he is just that fast. Apparently not. You'll find out later this chapter, or I guess later this review, whichever one you read first or look at first. So yeah, this place that Enkidu brought Ameuz to is where Traumerei and Ameuz kind of like met up and they agreed that they're gonna stay together and be a couple. So I mean, I guess Traumerei, it's really clear that Traumerei instructed Enkidu to bring him there. Like Traumerei is given the directives. He knew they would go there and everything. I mean, Enkidu is pretty much his right hand man. So yeah, I mean, he's gonna do whatever he says. So Traumerei is just not letting Ameuz go free. Him and Enkidu like gang up on her pretty much, and Enkidu also like reverts back to his original form. And she says that she noticed that something was off about him, which I mean I don't blame her. Enkidu is really bad at impersonating people. So real quick, before we progress to the chapter, I just want to point out Ameuz's body language. She's over here clenching her fists. She's like getting really pissed off that like Trauma just won't go away. He won't like let her be alone and let her do her thing. So Traumerei is pretty much making a last-ditch effort to reel Ameuz back in, but she already made up her mind. I think this is a pointless endeavor from Traumerei. It's not going to go anywhere, and even if he does somehow force her back in, it's not going to change who she is. He brings up that after that day, their journey up the tower ended, and Ameuz gets pissed because she did not want that. She says she did not accept that. And I mean, they kind of just made the decision for her and all the other Towerborns. And I mean, Traumerei goes further and he says that the door already closed. So, I mean, I guess this is referring to that door that they need to unlock with, I think, the Rings of Jihad and the 13-month weapons. I think you need all those to unlock the door. I'm not really sure, though. I kind of forgot the requirements to unlock it. But yeah, they're referring to the 134th floor to go further up the tower, which Jihad locked, and she wants to open it. She wants to open this door and continue climbing the tower. I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. They're in the tower to keep climbing, not to just settle on one floor. And I think head on, he wants them to keep climbing. So he needs something to like throw everyone off. He can't have these people just keep staying in one floor, not progressing. I mean, that goes against the tower. How are you going to reach the top of the tower if you're just staying in one floor that's locked away and nobody can breach it? So Traumerei says that she's going to have to go through him and Jihad, and like she's going to really like betray them, which that's what she's doing. Like if it's not clear already, she is betraying you guys. She did say that she's going to be enemies with you guys. So that's clearly what she wants. And Traumerei brings up the stuff that happened back then. He says, "You remember what happened to us that day, don't you? The people who worshipped us as gods when we climbed the tower, after learning that we had closed the door, were the same people who cursed us at committed atrocities." So they carried all these people to the top of the tower because they're regulars, right? They got all these powers. They can break the rules of the tower. So they carried all these towerborns to the top. And since they decided that they were going to close the door, these fuckers got really pissed off. Even though they're just like freeloaders, man, they just rode their coattails up to the top of the tower. So it seems like Traumerei and some of these selected towerborns, they had like this special godlike relationship. So some of these towerborns are like really exceptional. Like I think Luzlek, Ameuz, they're really strong and talented. And then you got all these other like mongrels, pretty much these other people that they're not really talented like these towerborns. These field selected towerborns that get to climb with the family leaders themselves. And I mean, it's just these people that Traumerei and Ameuz and all these people that stand on top, they just generally do not like. Because Traumerei is like, oh, so you're gonna go join them, you're gonna think like them. And Ameuz is like, well, yeah, I mean, I don't like those people that just kind of used us to get all the way on the top. But it doesn't change the fact that we think the same thing, we share the same goal and ideas. So this is quickly becoming like the irregulars versus the towerborns, because these towerborns, it's like in their blood to climb the tower and to keep climbing. And for the irregulars, they just want to stay complacent and stay on the top and have control over the whole tower. So, I mean, the only exception here is V and Arlene. And that's why so many people rallied behind them, because these are the only people that are willing to keep climbing. So originally, Ameuz like was 100% on their side. Like on Traumerei's side, Jihad's side, she was all in for just locking the door and betraying these people and not climbing anymore. But I mean, over time, she got her doubts and she was like, you know what, this is not right. Like, we need to keep climbing. This is no way to live. And I mean, obviously, Ameuz herself and these Towerborns, they just can't overpower the irregulars. So, what other choices they have? Well, just join V and Erlene because they are irregulars as well. And I mean, that's the only choice you got. So I think the irregulars closing the door of the 134th floor was the incident that they're referring to. Because, I mean, we know there have been multiple incidents so far. And I think this is like one of the main ones that kind of separated everybody, like just closing the door. So, I mean, this obviously pissed a shitload of people off and they hold a lot of resentment. And the godlike attitude of the family leaders is growing rapidly. And I mean, Ameuz senses it. She senses that Traumerei has changed. And we even saw last chapter that Traumerei he's adopting this family leader godlike mentality. And he thinks he can control everybody and do whatever he wants. I mean, look right now what he did. He's not letting Ameuz go free. Maybe she thought like that Traumerei would have enough respect for her that she could go free, but I mean, clearly that's not the case. This guy is like really power hungry and he's tripping on his new status as a family leader. So at this point, Ameuz she is set on having her goal met. She really wants to finish climbing the tower, even if it means abandoning Traumerei. And Traumerei is already like losing hope. He's having flashbacks of Ameuz and him, especially in this location they're at. And I mean, it looks so happy here. I mean, everything looks so green and so lively, and now it looks all like dead. But yeah, like they were together, and Ameuz, yeah, it looks like she was originally happy with the plan they had. And I mean, the only difference is she changed and Traumerei kind of like stayed on that track. I mean, that's what it looks like, right? From this flashback. So yeah, this is a very brief flashback and it's basically Ameuz saying like, oh, we don't need to worry about anything going on in the tower. We just need to worry about living a happy life, you know, eating good food, worrying about what we're going to wear tomorrow and, you know, all this like, you know, normal shit. I mean, she completely did a 180 here because now she's thinking, well, I'm going to go back in the tower and climb. So, I mean, yeah, this is typical. I mean, women, they change. Yeah, they're like super friendly with you one day and then they're complete bitches the next day. So, yeah, I mean, it's very typical. It's very normal. SIU is getting very specific with these tropes here. This guy probably had a bad encounter with women as well. But yeah, I mean, this is accurate as fuck. So Traumerei tells her that they were gonna stay there forever. Like that's what she said, that they were gonna be together forever and they don't have to worry about anything. And I mean, Ameuz, she recalls what Traumerei is like referring to, like that moment. And I mean, you could see her facial expression change. Like she's over here crying, and she's kind of blaming trauma right now. She's saying like, "Oh, it's you. You are the one who changed, and I know what you and Jihad are going to do, and how you're going to rule this tower." And I mean, yeah, like Jihad is ruling this fucking tower with an iron fist, and Ameuz is not like that. So maybe there's something we're not seeing that Traumerei did. Like we don't really know how Traumerei was when he was climbing the tower, and he had more, like, he was on more equal leveling with these people. Maybe he really did change for the worse, but I mean, there's not enough information to go off that. So I mean, can't really tell who's lying or who's just manipulating who. I'd like to say it's Ameuz because she's been doing a lot of tricky shit, but maybe she has good reasons. Maybe Traumerei really, he's just a complete dick now, and before he was a super good guy. So Enkidu is getting super fucking pissed off. He is saying that Ameuz is basically gaslighting at this point. Like he's saying that she is the one who changed and that Traumerei had not changed. And I don't think that's the case because I think Ameuz deep inside, she's always wanted to keep climbing. I mean, all she would do is look out the window and she would be like sending messages to other people. So I think Ameuz had this plan for a very long time, and the real her is coming out. That's the only difference. She's no longer under a mask anymore. And I think Traumerei over time he's been getting power hungry. And you know, the thought of becoming a family leader has been getting more and more in his head. But Enkidu, he is pissed off. And Ameuz, as she's walking by, she's just saying her last words, like, "I'm leaving Traumerei." And then you can see a little tear rolling down her cheek. So I think, God, this is really hard to like decipher. I think Ameuz did feel something for Traumerei, because I don't think these are crocodile tears. If it wasn't for this last panel where she has a tear rolling down her cheek, I would have just said that shit's crocodile tears. But I think she did have something for him. And I mean, she'd rather follow her dreams and goals than, like, you know, just be with Traumerei, because that's what she wants to do. So, I mean, as she passes Enkidu, she doesn't say anything, you know, condescending or disrespectful. She just tells Enkidu to take care of Traumerei. And Enkidu, all of a sudden, he's manifesting a weapon in his hand right in front of Traumerei, and he just fucking swings it behind Ameuz and one-shots her. So at first, you see Enkidu covered in blood. I could have sworn, I thought this was Traumerei, like, putting his hand through Enkidu's gut and, like, just stopping him completely from killing the love of his life. But no, this actually was Enkidu killing Ameuz in one shot. Because the following panel is a fucking dead Ameuz. Like, she is all battered up, man. She is just fucking dead. And Enkidu does not even believe what he did. He is in shock. And the narrator is like, what he saw in front of him was an image of Ameuz lying on the ground, torn to pieces by his own sword. So, I mean, I would have liked to see an Ameuz torn into pieces. I would have liked to see her head chopped off and her legs and arms like all over the place. I mean, look at his cut Enkidu did. He did a fucking solid cut throughout, straight down her back. He fucking unzipped her bra. Jesus Christ, Enkidu. Man, this guy did a great job. And of course the crane is like upset because I think that was her crane. And Traumerei just has like that surprise Pikachu face. Like, Traumerei does not know what happened. And with that, that is the end of the chapter. It was really short, just one scene, one flashback. That's it. Think SIU is getting burnt out, or maybe he just really needed to cut it here. This could have been included in the last chapter as well. I mean, this feels like filler. Like this is like kind of like a filler feeling. Like, you know, just just added on. But uh, yeah, it was really short, but really imperative to the story nonetheless. And I got comments to make. So first of all, how the fuck did Enkidu kill Ameuz? I thought Ameuz was like incredibly strong. We don't know how strong Enkidu is. We don't know. I don't think the ranker system is established at this point in time, but Ameuz is supposed to be somewhat on par with these family leaders, right? Because I mean, even right now, they said that all those little Towerborns, they got mad that their gods locked them out from climbing the tower. And I mean, if Ameuz is on par with these guys, like to a personal level with these family leaders, she must be exceptional. So I have no idea how Enkidu one-shot her. And I mean, let's address the elephant in the room. Enkidu one-shot her in front of Traumerei, who is a family leader, guys. Family leader still. He's one of the most powerful people in this tower. And he just one-shot the love of his life in front of him. So people are saying, "Oh, Traumerei was shocked." No, guys. If you look at these panels, Traumerei is just standing. He's not kneeling down. He's not looking at the ground. He is standing, looking straight in front of him, and witnessing everything in real time. What should have happened, what was expected, was that Enkidu would try to kill Ameuz, and Traumerei would turn into fucking Beerus and Hakai him out of the world for attempting to kill her. And I mean, that's what you would expect to happen, right? That makes most sense. Well, apparently not. Yeah, I don't think Traumerei did it. Traumerei didn't act because he was shocked. He didn't look shocked. I mean, he looked disappointed. He always has his Traumerei face, his blank face. But he wasn't in flip phone position or anything. He just let it happen. He literally watched it happen. And people are saying that Enkidu was too fast. It was an instant. Well, he literally took a moment to manifest a weapon. All right. So let's say Traumerei is not as strong as he is in the present. Still, he is a family leader. He is the strongest person in this time still. I'm pretty sure a family leader can notice when someone is about to attack and stop them right away. Like, Enkidu is facing Traumerei when he is manifesting the weapon in his hand. How much more obvious can it get? Like, how come Traumerei did not teleport like he just did from the palace to the island? He couldn't do that to stop Enkidu. This shit makes no sense. SIU needs to explain. People are saying that Traumerei controlled Enkidu, but the whole purpose of Enkidu is not to be controlled. Traumerei wants to be with someone who can't be controlled. So that theory is out of the water too. So SIU needs to fucking explain, because this makes no sense. So I think Enkidu used his deserved death perk on Ameuz, which that also needs to be explained because that's very vague. Like, how do you fulfill the criteria to deserve a death? So SIU, you really gotta explain Enkidu's abilities. These are really confusing. And I also want to point out, Enkidu has immortality, right? He can't be killed unless it's an irregular that kills him. Why didn't Traumerei grant the same benefits to Ameuz if he loved her so much? Why would he put Enkidu over her? Why didn't she get immortality? Maybe she didn't want immortality, just like V. I don't know. That would be a valid explanation. I hope SIU explains that, because it would only make sense if he puts her over Enkidu and not the other way around, right? So something like this doesn't happen. So yeah, SIU, I really hope you explain this in the next chapter, because I mean, first of all, there was not really a reason for Enkidu to be there in the first place. This feels kind of forced. I mean, you could have let Luzlik kidnap Ameuz. I mean, you were watching everything, right? You knew that Luzlik was there. You could have kept an eye on him and, waited for them to get to a spot and then stop them. Why did you have to go this extra step with Enkidu to kind of trick Ameuz? I thought Enkidu was going to be a spy, and they could use Enkidu Traumerei and Jihad to like spy on what V and Arlene are doing. But no, Enkidu served no fucking purpose. Like, what was the point? Just to take her to the island? Traumerei could have gone anywhere with Ameuz and stopped her. There's no point in doing that. It feels kind of forced. If this was just a way to get Enkidu to kill Ameuz in front of Traumerei and having Traumerei physically see that, I don't think it was well executed. It's very hard to believe that Traumerei would just let that happen. I mean, Enkidu does have that ability, I think, at this point in the story. I don't know if that was granted later, to kill someone instantly. He could have assassinated Ameuz. That would have made more sense if he hated her so much. He could have assassinated her away from Traumerei, so like he wouldn't get in his bad side. But right now, he just killed her right in front of him, and I'm pretty sure Traumerei is gonna be fucking livid next chapter. He's gonna lock this motherfucker up, and holy shit! Not only that, but Traumerei is in deep shit with everybody. I think everybody's gonna be pissed off at him because so many people were cool to Ameuz. Hannah, or no, not Hannah. What's her name? Yeon Lee Rang. Yeon Lee Rang. I keep forgetting her fucking name. She was really cool to Ameuz. Ari Han was cool to Ameuz. You know, Traumerei is in deep shit because she got killed under his watch, and he's gonna get the blame for it. And I mean, you even seen that flashback. I forgot what chapter it was. Gastangi even got mad at Traumerei, and I'm pretty sure it was because Ameuz died. So yeah, maybe it's not what meets the surface. Maybe Traumerei is not like upset completely with Enkidu for killing her, but he's upset with the repercussions that he is gonna have to face for the fact that Ameuz died under his watch. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the chapter. There's not really that much to talk about other than theories of why Enkidu was able to kill Ameuz so easily. But yeah, I think I went over all my thoughts for this chapter. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. How you think Enkidu was able to kill Ameuz without Traumerei intervening? Was Traumerei really traumatized, or was he just stunned or starstruck to the point where he just watches someone die right before his eyes? I have no idea. I just hope SIU explains, because this makes no sense. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate you guys sticking by. I would have uploaded this shit sooner. I'm doing all this, doing so many videos in one day because I had a fucking school project due, one of my finals due earlier, and I submitted it 30 minutes late. So I hope I still get a good grade for that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.